Reporter Phyllis Armstrong has more on the group and the violent games that they are targeting.
1, 2, ready, go.
This game is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
These rap lyrics may never hit the airwaves.
Ooh, not gonna play, bully.
But the song gives some D.C. kids a platform to protest a new video game. Rockstar Incorporated's Bully.
They think that it's what the game is right, teaching them the right thing, how to go back to school and defend themselves, kill people, kill other students.
This picture is about Bully.
Next Tuesday, the young activists will take their handmade posters to Manhattan to demonstrate against Bully and other games like Grand Theft Auto.
I think it is crazy for anyone to make a game where students are taught to beat their teachers up, form rival gangs in schools, and turn schools into vehicles of chaos.
Bullying surfaced as a motive in 2 students killing 13 people at Columbine High School in Colorado, and a 16-year-old murdering 9 in Red Lake, Michigan.
This boy, he was in my class and he was taking people money.
And was he picking on them or threatening them?
Yeah, so I told him to be on that.
They could say a lot of what they see in those games is not really fiction, but real-life experiences that they witness right here on the streets and in their schools.
Everything that's happening in the game is happening in our city. And what's happening in the game, the prices are going up, the games are selling, and our kids are dying.
Moten's group of Peaceoholics are making their 3rd trip to New York, hoping to convince the company and their peers that violence is not a game.
Yes, this game is bananas.
Phyllis Armstrong, 9 News.
Yes, this game.
We called Rockstar Games about the protest against Bully, but there has been no response. Company officials have said that their games are not to blame for people's actions. The Peaceoholics group is asking for the community support in getting tougher restrictions on violent video games.
Players of the Year. We got our little awards presentation here to Katrina Wheeler, Eagles United All-Metropolitan, 2nd year in a row, and All-American. Congratulations, Girls Outstanding Player of the Year from this group. Katrina Wheeler, and we from News Channel 8, we will award you, and I'm sure that goes with many, many of your awards. We also have one for Shanae Bryce, one of the top point guards in America. Shanae, you had a great year this year. And you were here last year, and we had fun. Remember taking pictures and all that craziness? Now you're here. And congratulations on your All-Met status. Nigel, good job, buddy. Got another year. Virginia Tech's getting a great guard, and I'm sure you'll be one of the top guards in the country next year. Outstanding Boys Player of the Year, Nigel Munson, DeMatha High School. St. John DeMatha High School. All right. Before we go, Trina, your goals and objectives when you go to college.
Well, goals is just basically just to graduate. I want to do 4 years in Georgetown because everybody knows a degree out of Georgetown can basically write your own ticket anywhere.
I know the alumni love to hear that.
I mean, everybody can say I want to just come straight to college and start, you know, but basically just work hard and just do what I need to do.
Shanae, you're only 50 miles away, so you still can talk to your teammate. You're going to Townsend. What's your goals and objectives? Quickly.
My goals is go to class, do what I got to do, on the court, off the court, be successful. That's about
Throw
it.
some good bounce passes and get some easy layups, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Big boy, you got another year, but you're going to Virginia Tech, another good school up in the hills of Blacksburg, Virginia. So we say good luck to you because I know you're going to make All-Met again. Other than injury, yeah, I know you're going to have a great year, so we know that we don't want nobody to get hurt, that's for sure. Okay. You guys, I'm proud of you. Trina back for the 2nd year, and you all have a good year, okay?
Thanks.
All right, stay injury-free. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Talk. Walter Wade, way to go, baby. All your assistants have been great. Our Eagles United Players of the Year, I'm Glenn Harris. In friendship, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
We're joined again here on News Talk by Ron Moten, head of a local organization that works to keep young people away from gangs and criminal activity. The group is called the Peaceoholics, and we've enjoyed having Mr. Moten on before. It's good to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Phone lines open 703-387-1020. If you want to do a quick call with a question or comment, join us, 387-1020, area code 703. We're going to talk in a minute about a fundraiser that you're having this weekend, but you and I were talking earlier this week about some other things that you're involved with. One of them is going to take you to New York. Talk about that.
Yes, once again, we're going to return to New York to address the makers of Grand Theft Auto. These people have put out games that are detrimental to our community, where they teach children how to be criminals, how to kill police officers, how to degrade women, how to use drugs. And a lot of people don't know in the game Halo, it affected us in this community because Marvel practiced on Halo, the sniper, the DC sniper. A lot of people don't know that. And there was an attorney by the name of Jack Thompson in Miami who profiled that the person who had to play a video game to leave these clues and things like that. So we know that these games have an effect on our community locally, and to make things worse, they're about to put out a game called Bully, where you can beat your school teachers up, teach children how to beat their school teachers up, teach them how to form gangs in school, and make the schools into total chaos. And we think this is ludicrous, and we're going to go up there to stop it, and we're trying to get people involved to make sure this game never hits the street, because after Columbine, after what happened at Ballou Senior High School, the Red Lake Massacre, we can't let this come out.
You hope to meet with the people at the companies who put out these games, or do you expect to meet with them? I mean,
well,
are there meetings set up?
They will not meet with anyone. We're going up there to create some awareness to the world. We figure if we keep going to New York, the world will know what's going on. Studies have already came out to show the effects of these games, and it's true. It's not like people just making these things up. I mean, it's been studies where they took video games and TV out of schools, and 80% of the violent crimes in the schools stopped.
You know what the First Amendment people say, and a lot of people say, these are games. They're not reality. They don't advocate some of the things you talk about. It's a release. It's a thing. These are games of skill, and 99.9% of the people who play the games probably don't go out into the real world and do the pretend stuff from the game.
Well, I say to that, these people who say this play a lot of games, because just like when we found out you can download a code from off the TV, off the internet, and the children can have all these sexual explicit activities going on with these games, and that's against the law. So we can eliminate the First Amendment right, because they've broken the law, and that's why Councilmember Adrian Fenty and Jim Graham are working on legislation in D.C., and Hillary Clinton is also doing something about it and calling for an investigation to find out why they released these things on the internet, which our children have access to.
What's the latest on the local bill? Have you heard anything in terms of
recess? When they come back from recess in September, they will be introducing a bill, and I'm sure it will pass.
You are?
Yes.
Because that would be a big deal to have something, a ban on certain types of games, or restrictions in terms of what is it, the rating system,
right,
age, and all.
And they play games like now they made Grand Theft Auto mature. And the only reason why they did that because of the pressure from Hillary Clinton and everybody else. And they even made the rating system people look like fools, because they trying to say that a hacker put these codes out to make these activities happen on the game. Come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what type of games these people are playing. They all about money. They don't care about our communities. They don't care about what happens to our children. And we have to deal with people like that.
Speaking of money, you've got a fundraiser coming up Saturday. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation. We'll talk about the Monte Carlo night.
Thank you.
Our final break here. More of our discussion right after this. The Peaceoholics are holding a fundraiser this Saturday night. It's a Monte Carlo night taking place at the Renaissance Hotel downtown at 9th and K Streets. The event runs from 7 until 11 p.m. Call this number, 202-437-5330 for more information. You can also go to their website. Go to our website, news8.net, and we'll have the link to the Peaceoholics site. You can get all the information. Again, 202-437-5330. Ron Moten from the Peaceoholics here. We wish you success with the event. What will the money raised allow you to do?
Well, it will allow us to do things for our children, stipends for our children, because we have a youth council who participate and give us a lot of their time to do activities and put together activities in our community to help change the culture of violence in our community. We also will be able to pay some of our staff and volunteers to do things. We have a lot of people that work long hours and do not get paid for it. Like, they might get paid for 4 hours, but they might work 12 hours. And we need to help pay ads and things like that, help us get more computers, help us with our programs inside the school system. And
for people who don't know about the group per se, talk about the Peaceoholics.
Well, what the Peaceoholics is an organization who works inside D.C. public schools. We do gang intervention, conflict resolution. We go down Oak Hill and we work with the children down Oak Hill and try to get them a positive insight on how they can transform into being positive individuals in the community. We do entrepreneurship training. We just give a whole variety of things to try to change the culture of violence in our community. And we also do lobbying, and we're advocates for youth. We partnership with programs like Parent Watch, Alliance of Concerned Men, Roots. We're about positive change, different clergy in the community, and we're just trying to make our world a better place.
We've had you on before. We've had young people who are active with you in the program here, and I get the sense, I think our viewers have gotten the sense that some good things are happening, and that you're taking your experiences, things you've learned over time, and are helping our young people in a pretty important way.
And we also look forward to opening up an office right across the street from Ballou within the next 2 months. So it will also help us with our projects in Ballou Senior High School. So we look forward to doing that. And it's going to be a real nice event. You know, it's sponsored by Clark Construction and Regional Contracting. And Greg Kalivas, man, from Clark, and his wonderful staff, Ms. Patterson, Wesley, man, they have done an outstanding job in helping us. They've taught me a whole lot about fundraising, and it's going to be real nice.
Let me just give the plug again. Go to our website, news8.net. We'll have the link there for the Peaceoholic site. You can get the information you need about the Monte Carlo night that's Saturday downtown at the Renaissance. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you coming in. We'll be back tomorrow with an all-new show. We'll talk about
been selling calendars featuring the band and city leaders over the past few months. Their efforts brought in $1,500. That's just so far. All of the proceeds going to that tsunami relief fund. So some good work by some folks who do some good work when they're playing their instruments as well.
One video game from store shelves. The Peaceoholics group wants stores in the district to stop selling all versions of Grand Theft Auto. The activists say the game send a negative message to youth and promote a negative image of African Americans. And they claim that game makers are exploiting children for a profit.
The kids is going out here, all right, they'll go buy the game and then they'll play it and they like, oh, okay, so it's cool for me to do this in real life, and it's not. But the people who make these video games don't see the effect on the community.
Well, the group Peaceoholics is also asking video game makers to give back to the community by compensating victims of auto theft. And you may have seen D.C. Councilman Adrian Fenty there at the press conference. He's sponsoring legislation now to remove the games in the district.
Well,
we're talking about girls getting involved with gangs, sometimes creating their own. They join forces for protection and defend one another against rival neighborhoods. These aren't the girls from next door. And as Fox 5's Sherry Lee found out, these girls are dangerous.
The mean streets are getting meaner, and it's the girls getting more violent.
I didn't care about nothing. I just did anything.
Fighting, stealing, and sometimes people die.
Because most people getting killed and stuff over that.
Does that scare you, knowing that?
Yes.
Tina ran with the Crazy Mob, a gang of girls in her D.C. neighborhood that grew up together, and as they got older, got into trouble together. She joined when she was 12 to be noticed and prove she was tough.
I was fighting, cussing teachers out. Just everybody think you can name.
And she doesn't want her old friends to know she's talking.
If we thought you do more bad stuff, people will notice you.
D.C. police count more than 20 girl groups in the city. Most aren't considered gangs by law enforcement standards because they're not involved in organized criminal enterprises. But these girls can be just as violent.
They may get in their little groups and battle, and they may fight, and sometimes it can even turn into gunplay.
Jahar Abraham works with Peaceoholics to get troubled kids out of gangs and off the streets.
It's not going to be safe for any of us in the city if we ignore the kind of things that our young people are getting involved in.
Group sex or beatings are often rites of initiation.
The way they get in is by either a group of people jumping them, which is probably practically beating them up nearly to death.
Angie Rodriguez lived the gang life in the Boston suburbs until it nearly killed her.
As soon as I stepped out the house just to go to the corner, two men were chasing me with a gun and a knife, just because of who I was and who they thought I was associated with.
Girls join gangs for different reasons. Poor economic conditions and dysfunctional families are a factor. But girls also get involved in gangs for friendship, for acceptance, and sometimes to escape sexual abuse. They fight over how another girl looks or dances, over boyfriends, and to represent their neighborhoods.
Some girls do it to show it off or to be like, They're not scared of nobody.
There are no hard numbers on how many girls are in gangs. Law enforcement reports estimate 8 to 11% of gang members are girls, but ask the girls themselves, and that number jumps as high as 38%.
What they do is the people from their neighborhood, that they hang out together, and if different neighborhoods are beefing, then that's how they get involved in it.
The rise in girl gangs mirrors an overall rise in violent crimes committed by girls. More girls are being arrested. Crimes like aggravated assault and simple assault are up. The growing violence is why Tina got out.
When my cousin got killed, that just hurt me to the heart.
Abraham and Peaceoholics helped her.
None of them, if you talk to them, want to be locked up or want to be violent or want to be uneducated. You know, they just need an alternative.
But to get out, members sometimes have to be jumped out, beaten, just like the initiation to get in.
Get disfigured, you know, they get scars on their faces, anywhere in their body, and it's really bad.
Cynthia Valdez, a founding member of a violent Boston girl gang, got tired of being in jail and put in foster homes. Now she and Rodriguez are back on the streets, only this time it's different.
If I can help them get out of the gang before it's late, it means the world to me.
Girls in gangs are more likely to use hard drugs, end up pregnant and unmarried. Many carry weapons for protection and take part in gang warfare.
If I was staying in the group, I probably would have been dead, smoke, alcoholic. Probably wouldn't be right here.
In the gang or out, sometimes the difference is life or death. Sherry Lee, Fox 5 News.
A dirty little secret. Sex scenes embedded in a wildly popular video game called Grand Theft Auto. If it's not in your house, there's a good chance your neighbors got it. It's a game that's already controversial, and now this, raising the question, can parents really trust what's on those warning labels? Here is NBC's Chip Reed.
The Grand Theft Auto video games are already notorious for their graphic violence. But the latest version, San Andreas, has a new twist that has some parents seething.
How about a little coffee?
Scenes of graphic sex. So graphic we won't show them, but this freeze frame should give you some idea. The scenes are buried inside the video and can be accessed only by downloading a program from the internet. But parents say for many teens, that's as easy as tying their shoes. Ronald Moten has picketed stores that sell the video and now prohibits his 2 young children from playing any video games.
You can't really go too far from your children because you don't know what they can be exposed to.
The San Andreas game, which has sold more than 5 million copies, is rated M for mature. In theory, that means you're supposed to be at least 17 years old to buy it. But the reality is very different. A recent study found that 50% of boys between 7 and 14 successfully purchased M-rated video games. 87% have played them. The nonpartisan group behind the study has now issued a national parental warning, calling for San Andreas to be re-rated as adults only.
The games that parents think their kids are playing may not be the games that their kids are playing.
The mystery now, who put the sex scenes in San Andreas? The company that makes the game, Rockstar, blames an internet hacker. Today, Senator Hillary Clinton called for a federal investigation.
The ability of our children to access pornographic and violent material on an M-rated video game is spiraling out of control.
And she said making the difficult job of being a parent even harder. Chip Reed, NBC News, Washington.
Ronald Moten is the Chief Operating Officer for Peaceoholics Incorporated. Welcome to the show. Seems like you all are, I'm fine, thank you. Glad to be here with us. But, you know, last time we had your colleague on and we were talking about the video games and just things that we wanted to do, hopefully to have a murder-free DC and all that. Yes. Now we're back again because there's a new game on the market. Yes. Tell us about Bully and what you all are trying to do to
well, Bully is a new game that the makers of Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar, they put a new game out in October called Bully. And after Columbine, after what happened in the Red Lake, Minnesota school and Ballou Senior High School, they coming out with a game where children can beat their teachers up, children can beat their classmates up.
These are things that are depicted in the game.
In the game, right. You can form rival gangs against each other to turn their school into chaos. and a lot of other things that they haven't even put out in the game yet. And this is coming out in October, so what we want to do is let the consumers know, let these stores know, if you sell these games, because we realize they're going to be able to make the games. Because for some reason, our congressmen feel though they have to protect these people's First Amendment right when they take away rights of people in society to say, well, 2 or 3 people can't congregate on a corner for public safety.
Mercy.
So we think this is a public safety matter also, but for some reason we can't get the law to stop them from making these type of games. So we think what worked in the 60s was boycotts. If people tell Walmart and Target and all the other stores and all the churches get together and tell their members not to support these stores if they sell these games, we think that would have a tremendous effect on the sale of these games to our children. Also, we want them to have a public awareness campaign like the tobacco industry did, and letting the parents know what's in these games, because a lot of the parents do not know the content of these games.
Yeah, you're right.
Ron, isn't it also a catch-22? But if you, again, I had never heard of this game until you talked about it. And if the media starts writing about this game, could that not also boost sales of this game and actually make it more popular?
I tell you what, we do groups with children down Oak Hill, and we do a survey on the children who were locked up for UUV, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and the majority of them have played Grand Theft Auto. But after we educate them on how people are using these games to keep them blind, and educate them on how in the 60s and 70s the children were the ones who changed all the laws and uplifted our people, they have a different understanding, and we stopped them from even wanting to play them games. And that's why our children are subject to getting attracted to these type of things. What else do they have? They don't even learn their history in school. There's no curriculum teaching them about SNCC or nothing like that. When we tell them about SNCC and Reverend Bevel and Martin Luther King, the things they really did, not that I have a dream speech, but about how they went to jail for education, for segregation, they got a whole different outlook. They proud, they know they have power and everything, and our children are not being taught.
Do you really believe there's a connection between the video game Grand Theft Auto and some of these carjackings that are going on?
Oh, yes, because just look at what's going on in the street. At one time, the youth weren't kicking windows out and shooting at the police or getting through sunroofs and shooting at police. These are things that are in the game. And I know in my generation, when we came up, I know for sure, I know people who are locked up today and 6 feet under who looked at Scarface. Everybody wanted to be like Scarface. Everybody. They put the movie in every morning and try to be like Scarface. So I know these games. They use these same video games to train our troops to kill. So they can train our troops how to fight a war. Why can't they train our children how to be criminals in the street?
Now, Ron, you know as well as I do that whether it's the new Jordans that's coming out or whatever, you can go to a store and reserve a copy, reserve a pair of tennis shoes. So you've got the $80 game that's coming out.
Right.
The machine that takes to play it costs anywhere from $200 to $250, depending on what model you have, right? So we're talking about young people, 12, 14, 18, 21 years old, unemployed, but have close to $300 to be able to buy these mechanisms. They've got the summer jobs.
Summer jobs.
We know they're listening. We know you guys are listening because you're always listening and watching. They're saving up now.
Right.
How do we get to them before they get to Best Buy, which we do have here in the city? We don't have a Walmart yet. We don't have a Costco. But how do we get to them and their parents to make sure they're not wasting those dollars they made over the summer on something like this?
Education. We got to educate the community. We have to educate the parents to know that this has an effect on their children. And in a lot of the homes, a lot of the parents need more help than the children. So sometimes you got to go right to the children. That's what we do. We don't think that all parents can be reached. Some parents.
But do you can a child go and buy this game? Doesn't it have some restrictions on it? I mean, I know, but I'm just trying to bring it up.
They're carded.
Best Buy just supposedly have changed, you know, their standards of that. But Fox 5 did a special on Best Buy where they sent people into the stores this year and they was selling the games to minors. So I mean, people not supposed to do a lot of things and they give them to children. They're not supposed to give them cigarettes. They still buy cigarettes out of the store.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just raising it as an issue. We know what the reality is.
Purchases for alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it is they want, they figure out a way. They are intelligent and educated enough in that sense to be able to figure that out.
Who's the maker of this game?
Rockstar.
Rockstar.
Right, they on Broadway Street in Manhattan, and we're going to be doing another protest because once we train the youth, we get them to be active, and we go there and we protest and we give pamphlets out to let people know what these people are doing, and we get more of the churches involved. I think we can make a great change. We can bring about a change that's been done over and over again in history. Get the youth involved, educate them, and you'll make a change.
What about Ron, I'm sorry, keep her out of town, out of time. But I want to thank you very much for coming on and sharing this information with us. And, you know, as always, we love to hear from you, our viewers. You can reach us via email at reporters.roundtable@dc.gov or by postal mail at 3007 Tilden Street Northwest, PODP, Washington, D.C., 2008.
And sexually explicit, so they're proposing a brand new law that would ban minors from buying these games. Fox 5's Maureen Ume is live tonight in Northwest. Maureen, this issue is stirring up quite a debate.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. You know, that proposed law you talk about could have problems since similar laws have already been struck down in court 3 times in the last 3 years alone. Nevertheless, the battle wages on, with one group set to picket stores like Best Buy in this letter urging them to stop selling those violent video games. Then you've got on the other side some groups who say that parents and community members need to get involved to help save kids.
7-year-old Rufi Al-Najjar loves video games, and one of his favorites is the graphic Grand Theft Auto.
Makes it fun where I get to like go on rooftops, jump off hills.
Rufi's mother Sang lets the 2nd grader play the game, but she says it's only under strict conditions. She has to be present and the sound turned off. Sang believes those rules and her overall discipline of Rufi helps minimize any negative impact the games could be having on him.
My kid, he's a very good kid. He go to school 5 days a week, and he done his homework on time. So I think he just play that for fun.
But many say all too often parental involvement with kids who play the violent games is lacking. Some studies show playing a lot of the game is related to more aggressive thoughts, feelings, and behavior. In Southeast Thursday, a group of concerned residents is vowing to demonstrate against stores that continue to sell some of the more notorious games. Their efforts coming on the heels of the introduction of D.C. Councilmember Adrian Fenty's legislation to ban the sale of violent games to minors. But still, some say even more needs to be done.
Even after our young people play the games, they need to be able to make the distinction between reality and entertainment. And that's what we have to rebuild, to let our young people know that they can make those decisions. But parents, communities, we all have to help our young people out.
Keeping a tighter rein and watch on what kids are doing and how it could affect their lives.
Brown, who incidentally is considering running for mayor, says what he'd like to see, a proposal he is making, is to tax video games like we do cigarettes. He says the money could be used for things like recreation centers and better help the community in that way. As for Councilmember Adrian Fenty's legislation, all of his colleagues are on board with this one except for one of them. Kathy Patterson is the lone holdout. She says that First Amendment rights might be violated with the ban of selling these video games to minors. In Northwest, Maureen Ume, Fox 5 News. Sean?
All right.